Let me hook mine up here. I'm ready to go.
Well, hey guys, welcome to my Buford sink dive here. This is an eventful one. We do 2 dives at this location, and we're off to a good start by using absolutely no logic whatsoever. I struggle to put this on underwater, and I'm holding my breath to see it underwater. When in hindsight, it's on my hand. I could have just picked it up out of the water, and I would not need to struggle this much. Oh boy. But a good start, off to a good start besides. What was I just trying to say there? I don't even know. Basically, we're doing 2 dives. I've got a dive buddy. He is a commercial diver, not really an avid scuba diver. I'm definitely the more experienced scuba diver in this scenario. So I'm the lead diver in this, and you'll see there's a lot of, I guess you could say, crop dusting that happens, as in silting it up, seahorse swimming. Not great trim, I'll just say that. I'm gonna leave it at that one. But yeah, it's a fun dive, and we're about to dive into it here. So I will shut up and come back when the time is right. Yeah. Here I actually forgot to show him how to use the flashlight that I loaned him. So I'm having to show him here underwater. Not the best planning, but don't worry about it. And so yeah, we're gonna head on down into the cavern. So this drops down to about 80 feet. At which point it slopes down all the way to like 180, I think. So we kind of planned on this dive to go down to only about 110 feet on this particular one. So yeah, we're on our way down right now. And yes, that is a rock that just flew past my head. I don't really know how that happened. It's funny, in my cavern class, they teach you, when you're in an overhead environment, watch out, stuff can fall on your head. And I kind of doubted that until just that moment. And had it been over a little bit, it would have clocked me right in the back of the head. But it didn't, so that's definitely a good thing. But anyways, it is very dark when we're not near the light. Just hitting them with an okay there. But yeah, very dark. Already down to 50 feet. You can see we are just dropping to get down to this floor here. Sinking fast like a rock. Like that boulder that almost hit me in the head. But yeah, now that we're down here at the bottom, I believe we're already almost at 80 feet here. 70 feet. So yeah, bottom's about 70, I suppose. And just moving along, you can see all that silt just on the bottom. And that's why it's really important not kick it up, because it can mess up your visibility, especially in like an overhead environment like this. And with it being dark, you don't want to make it even worse. So you try to stay in trim, which is, horizontal, and keeping your fin kicks away from the dirt. But as you can see, the commercial diver bad habits set in a lot with my dive buddy over here. And he ends up silting quite a bit on both dives. Here we're at 80 feet, looks like. Just continuing kind of down the downward slope, getting into our planned depth of 100 feet. 110, actually. And just really exploring. When you're down this deep and it's this dark, it's quite fun to just look at the different rock faces and all the stuff that's down there. You can actually find fossils. Some of the fossils are embedded in different rocks and stuff. And I just glanced at my air there a minute ago. Just check what we were at, even though the dive just started. It's a good thing to constantly look at your air. Never look at it too much, in fact. And this is just a massive, massive cavern. I mean, I was in just pure awe of the sheer size of it. The camera really just does not do it justice at all. And here we've already punched through 100 feet on the depth. And when you're this deep, it is very useful to take big, deep breaths and exhale all of the air out of your lungs. And that will help with your getting out as much nitrogen from your system as you can. As you can see, we're at 107 feet here, and my buddy starts to get a little bit narked, I think. He starts laughing, talking to himself, so I hit him with a, "Hey, are you okay?" And he responds back, "Yeah, I'm fine." So I'm like, alright, well, we should be good for now, hopefully, and we continue on. Down about a punch 110 feet here. And I still hear him going back there, so I turn around again and be like, "Are you sure you're okay?" And he gives me another okay. But I kind of think in my head here, hey, maybe we need to start heading back up. 109 feet, I'm like, alright, let's look around a little bit. I've got 9 minutes on my NDL. And so basically what an NDL is your no decompression limit. So I am not trained to go into decompression, which is a whole other topic. But basically I need to avoid that hitting 0. So at 9, so you can see there, NDL is now down to 8, which means I have 8 minutes at this depth before I go into decompression. And so I need to avoid that, which means that I need to go back up in less than 8 minutes. So we're going to explore down here just a little while until our NDL says otherwise. And here I'm just checking his computer because you want to go off the most conservative computer. So there his said, I think it said 9, mine said 8, so both of us would go by 8 minutes in that case, the most conservative. So yeah, we're just enjoying the time down here, enjoying the views. I'm really taking in this sunlight because the sunlight coming down, 110 feet of clear water all the way to the floor is an absolutely amazing sight. And again, the camera does not do it justice in any sense. It's just truly beautiful. And we're just continuing exploring here, hovering right about around 100 feet, checking stuff out. It's always good to check with your buddy a lot. Considering they are your, sitting with another okay there, considering that they are your air supply should you run out of air or have something go wrong. There's some silting there. Told you there'd be a lot of it. Just wait till the second dive, boy. There's a lot in the second dive. It's not great, but that's why it's so important to stay horizontal when you're diving. Just avoids that. But as a commercial diver, you just normally stand straight up, so he's not too well versed in the scuba universe of being horizontal, so I don't blame him too much. Again, I don't think he'd been scuba diving too much before this. Cannot blame him at all. But yeah, just taking in this absolute size of this monstrosity, but cavern, it was really cool. Again, kind of bouncing around right around 100 feet. Just checking stuff out. These caverns often have these cool little ledges where you can look into them and see various creatures swimming around. Most of them were asleep, actually, that I saw. That is cracked. absolutely beautiful. I believe we exchanged some sort of information there. I'm not quite sure what it was, but we were talking in scuba sign language. Here I get a low NDL alert, which just means, hey, you've got 5 minutes until you go into decompression. You might want to do something about it. So at that point, running through my head is that I might want to start getting to a shallower depth, which will increase that number. Get me back into a good safe margin. I believe that is him getting his 5-minute warning as well. See, as we climb up, as I ascend, my NDL is going up, which is what we want to see. You never want that NDL number to hit 0, especially without the training. I don't know why I turned off my light here. I think I was just enjoying the natural light coming in. But it does look quite terrible on the GoPro. It's not great at picking up the light, especially in videos. Yeah, just kind of enjoying the rocks as I ascend here. Commercial diver leaking through on the skill level there, just straight vertical. Oh boy. A lot of the enjoyment of diving these kinds of environments for me is just cool. Sure, there's hundreds, thousands of divers that have been in this particular location that have looked around at what I'm looking around. But when you put it in perspective, what number of divers out of the total percentage of divers has dove here? You know, you think it's a relatively low number. I mean, it's probably like half or over half, but it's still a low number. And then when you put in the math of how many divers there are compared to the total population of the world, I mean, not many people in that respect have been in here, so you kind of feel cool as in the fact that you're one of the select few that get to go down and experience this. We found this little rock pillar. We had to add to it. It's kind of tradition. You never knock them over. That's just totally terrible. You just wanna, you gotta add to it. It's like it's the code. Here I found like a little sleepy fish guy. He was just sleeping, just kind of vibing. And I think I woke him up from his nap. He didn't seem too happy. He swam off. Felt kind of bad, honestly. I was like, I'll let you get back to your nap, sir. I don't remember what was going on here. He might have been clearing his mask. Had some water in his mask, maybe. Really, at this point, we were just kind of exploring as we ascended back up. As we do get closer to the light and closer to our safety stop. This is pretty cool. I found a little air pocket in the rock. And, you know, if you find an air pocket, you gotta stick your head up into it. It's kind of the rule. So, my head's fully out of the water here. There's no light though, so you can't see it. But we get to see my buddy do it here in a second. He obviously follows suit. Very cool. Gives me the the old head explosion. That was pretty cool. It's always fun to find stuff like that places. Here I was signaling to him, asking him what his error was. He wasn't quite getting the message, so I just ended up grabbing it and checking myself. I had a steel 100 tank and he had a aluminum 80, so he was definitely the limiting factor on air. So I was making sure to be very conscious of his air, as I was definitely not the limiting factor. I believe I finished the dive with almost half my tank still available on gas, and it was about empty. So that is why I was being very conscious of his air the whole dive. Safety stop started. I reached 20 feet, so that 5-minute timer started. Safety stop, and that just allows your body to kind of expel a lot of the built-up nitrogen in your system. You have from going that deep. You're shallow enough to where it can kind of exhale a lot of it, so that you're safe to ascend fully to the surface once that's done. Again, it just really helps to reduce the risk of decompression sickness. And it's just better for your body in general. It is cool to see those divers flashlight down there. It really gives you perspective on how big it is. It really is an awesome dive. I want to go back at some point. 2 dives was not enough for me. It just is so beautiful. So beautiful. Here we were just kind of communicating to each other that how long we had left in each of our safety stops, and we're just kind of hanging out. It's kind of the boring part of scuba diving. It's just floating in one spot during your safety stop. These are just the classic shenanigans you get into while waiting at your safety stop. I was doing a handstand there. Just telling them there I had one more minute on my safety stop. I think his was done. And just checking with everything. Can never be too safe. And I mean, I saw another air pocket. I couldn't help myself, quite frankly. It's hard to resist these air pockets. Stick your face up into them. Something about them. I don't know. And so there I was just giving him a signal, hey, my safety stop's done. Let's go on up. And that's that. We work our way back up to the surface. It is really neat to see the bubbles kind of coming through the limestone from presumably our bubbles from over in the overhead cavern. It's pretty neat to see those bubbles coming up. And yeah, I mean that we're right at the surface, so that about wraps up the dive. These were some other divers that were down there. They were a little mean to us open circuits, kind of made fun of us. But, hey, we all gotta start somewhere, you know what I mean?
I'll get an arc. That's pretty cool.
You?
What?
Did you get an arc?
No, that was good.
Alright, what
I saw that.
What's up?
What depth were you at? You got narc.
110. I heard you. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, we're down to 150 flat, and I'm like, he's narc too.
Oh, you're. That's funny.
And yeah, so that wraps up the